Sully Winter Show, live, local, topical, and relevant. So for months and years since I've been on radio, talk radio, my entire career, I've talked about, not my entire career, but over the last probably couple of years, 3 or 4 years, I have talked about if white guilt were the gas meter in your car, it would be on E. The light would be on, meaning that like white guilt is dying out, that people don't feel it necessary to walk around on eggshells around the feelings of African Americans any longer. And a lot of people don't know how to deal with that. A lot of people call it racism. It's not that. It's the furthest thing from that. It's just that people have gotten to the point where, hey, I had nothing to do with that. I wasn't around. My grandparents weren't. Nobody was around. I have nothing to do with that. Just, I use this example. Let me give you the perfect example. Let's say you're married, right? It's an analogy. It's not supposed to be perfect. Let's say you've been married 20 years. And for the first, 7 years, 8 years, maybe 9 years of that marriage, as the man, you treated your wife horribly. You cheated on her. You had relationships outside the marriage. You yelled at her. You psychologically abused her. You were just horrible husband. Horrible, horrible, horrible. And 13 years, the last 13 years, you've realized, man, I need to be a better husband. And you've tried. You've done everything. You've been honest. You've been straightforward. You've cooked. You've cleaned. You've done everything right. And every now and then she brings up, hey, you remember when you did this? Hey, you remember when this? And you say, I'm sorry, baby. I'm sorry, baby. And this happens over 13 years. I'm sorry, baby. I shouldn't have done it. I'm sorry. I'm trying to be a better man. I'm trying to be a better man. And year after year after year go by. And after about 13, 14, 15 years of this, your wife brings it up again. And you say, you know what? Listen, woman. Look, you can leave. Or clearly you're not leaving. I'm not leaving. So we have to move on. That's what this is like with race relations in this country. After years of abuse, then years of apology, years of trying to make things right, years of trillions of dollars spent on a war on poverty, trillions of dollars spent on programs, affirmative action, all of these things. It's now to the point where like, hey, look, I'm tired. I'm not doing this anymore. And that's where we are. Listen to this exchange between Bakari Sellers and Kevin O'Leary on CNN. And this is the proof that where we are is where we are.
In Congress.
I think everybody should take confidence in the fact Supreme Court basically supported one vote, one person, guaranteed in perpetuity, and the rest is just map wars. And I think we should get used to it. And I think it's, as you said, a state-based situation. Add this to the mix. At the end of the day, the state decides at the state level. It's in the Constitution. Get over it.
So the problem with that sentiment is that you were born in 1954.
Yeah.
Okay. You're 71.
Yeah.
Right. In 1954.
By the way, I'm a vampire. I'm never gonna die,
during your lifetime, we've actually had Brown v. Board of Education.
I remember.
Yeah, Brown v. Board of Education. I don't know how you remember it. I think you were like 2 months old. But I'm not finished yet. Let me finish my thought.
Drill back to 54.
Yeah, because you're still alive, right? And so there's an entire generation of people. Brown v. Board, it overturned Plessy v. Ferguson of 1896. My point is that my mother was born in 1951. She desegregated schools. My father was shot in the Civil Rights Movement. Those people. I'm going to finish because you're being utterly disrespectful.
Not at all.
So I'm going to finish this comment. So what I'm telling you is that there are people in this country who fought, died, and bled for the right to vote. Don't be a... Just understand.
Okay. Bakari, please.
Just
I'm not
understand.
A dick. I'm pointing something out to you. The Constitution's being upheld. Do you have a problem with that? Do you have a problem with the Constitution of the United States of America?
Bakari, I'm going to stop you.
So this is Bakari Sellers is running down, the history. People bled and died, which is true. My mom desegregated schools. My mom, not my grandmother, not my great-grandmother. My mom desegregated schools in South Carolina. My dad, not my granddad, not my uncle, not my way back 3 generations before, but my dad himself got shot trying to integrate businesses and protesting in South Carolina. His dad got shot. So he's leaning on the history, right? And he's telling Kevin O'Leary, who's saying, hey, look, it's the Constitution, keep it moving. It's a map war. That's it. And it's very nonchalant. And Bakari is leaning on this emotional, like, hey, you don't understand. You're still here, but you don't understand. There are people still here who fought and died. Well, not the people who fought and died are still here, but you don't understand what I mean. People fought and bled. And Kevin O'Leary's basically saying, and you know, he said, don't be a man's appendage. But that's what Bakari Sellers said to Kevin O'Leary. But I understood it because I understood not what Bakari was saying, but I understood the frustration on his part because he's trying to lean on what has worked for decades. This idea that we fought and people fought and died for the right to vote. And Kevin O'Leary is saying you still have the right to vote. We're just paying attention to the Constitution. Keep it moving. White guilt is dead in America, and the Bakari Sellers and the talented 10th and the top boule class and the bourgeois class have to learn to deal with this new world. Because no one really cares anymore about your mom and your dad and the fighting and the dying and the marching and the protesting. They're saying, been there, done that. Let's keep it moving. It's the Shelley Winter Show. Live, local, topical, and relevant. Don't forget, I say it every night. Know this in your hearts. God loves you. Peace.